Hey guys, Chad here from Take It or Leave It, here with a movie recommendation for you for the film Creepbox. Here's the synopsis. After his wife's death, a scientist tries to use groundbreaking technology to determine if there is life after death. But once he is through the looking glass, there is no turning back. Alright, with that down, what's the deal with Creepbox? Well, all things considered, this is a masterfully crafted, slow burn psychological drama with a little bit of sci-fi and horror sprinkled on top. But to be clear, this is not a straight horror film, so don't expect any jump scares, don't expect any disturbing imagery, anything like that. Instead, you can expect atmosphere. And just to be clear, because I do think it's important to understand this to get a better understanding of what this film is about, the groundbreaking technology that is at play here is basically this box that is developed by a tech company that uses data from a recently deceased person to simulate their consciousness, with the intention of the tech company to bring in wealthy clients who are willing to pay a large sum of money to have a final conversation with their loved one, with the hope that this will bring closure to the client. Alright, with all that down, what stood out and impacted me enough to recommend this film to you? Well, most notably, there is an eerie dread constantly bubbling underneath the surface of this film. You know, I rarely ever felt comfortable or safe. I always felt a sense of unease while watching this. Like, I always got the sense that our main protagonist, the doctor, was meddling with something that he absolutely should not be meddling with. But I want to stress that I wasn't told that this was the case, like I should feel uneasy. No, it was a pure feeling of unease that the film drew out of me. And I don't know about you, but I love it when a film can effectively make me feel uneasy without telling me I should feel uneasy. Secondly, the film is very well written and very intellectually stimulating and intriguing, not being afraid to really dive into some philosophical, psychological, and ethical shit, and I really enjoyed rolling around in that stuff. Also, the film delves into the idea that unaddressed grief can lead to a resulting self-destructive obsession, which definitely lends itself to horror when you have a doctor that will not accept the death of a person that they love and is not willing to go through that full grieving period, and instead obsesses over this Creepbox and constantly crosses ethical lines by trying to capture the actual consciousness, not the simulated consciousness, the actual consciousness of his recently deceased loved one. Like I said, this creates a lot of potential for tension and slowly building horror throughout the film. And lastly, and pretty simply, the Creepbox itself is very effectively creepy in its execution. You know, per my previous reference to psychological shit that the film gets into, one thing they do with these simulations is capture the super ego, the ego, and the id in these simulated voices of the dead person. And only after the doctor states several words that are specifically relevant to the deceased person will the three voices align and create one single individual simulated voice. But up until that alignment, the three voices are talking at once and in contradiction to one another, and it's very creepy and unsettling at times, and it rewards multiple viewings to hear what each individual voice is saying. And while I'm recommending this film to you, I will say I do have a couple of caveats, one of which is that the film did leave me wanting a bit more from the film. I would have appreciated a little bit more of that horror spice sprinkled on the rest of the film, or maybe even just a little bit more payoff at the end. But at the same time, the way that the film currently is, I still find myself thinking about this film a lot. So, you know, maybe this subtlety, maybe a little bit of the vagueness of the film is all by design. And the other caveat that I'll mention again is that this film is a very slow burn atmospheric film. It is not a straight horror film, so please take note of that. This film definitely has elements of Pi, Primer, Black Mirror, and White Noise. And if all that sounds interesting, then I definitely recommend that you add Creepbox to your watch list and give it a shot. But those are just my thoughts, take it or leave it. What do you guys think? Have you heard of this film? Does it sound interesting to you? Are there any other films that you compare this to if you've seen it already? Let me know down in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video, but you want more information about what's on my watch list, what I'm currently watching, the kind of ratings I'm giving these films, as well as upcoming releases I'm looking looking forward to. Don't forget to follow me on track.tv. My username is TIOLI_reviews. The link is in the description box. Go ahead and click it and start following me on Tracked, and I look forward to seeing you over there. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'm Chad from Take It or Leave It, and I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later.
Hey, man, get off my case.
Oh, man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.